This week, with the 4th of July marking America's 250th birthday, we're stepping back to look at what the country has built over 2.5 centuries. The numbers make the case. This is the greatest growth story ever told. In 1790, U.S. economic output was a few $100 million. Today, it's nearly 31 trillion. Adjusted for inflation, real GDP has grown annually at 3.7% to become the largest economy in the world. That growth has translated into an enormous improvement in living standards. Real income per capita has compounded at about 1.7% since 1790. That may sound modest, but over such a long period, it's had a measurable effect. Holding the value of dollars constant for 2017, real income per capita has gone from roughly $1,300 at the founding to $70,000 today. That's the difference between a subsistence economy and modern American standards of living. One reason America has done so well is that the economy keeps reinventing itself, driven by productivity gains and technological innovation. In 1850, agriculture was more than a third of U.S. output. Today, it's about 1% despite massively more food production. The economy has moved relentlessly up the value chain, manufacturing, then trade and finance, and now technology, healthcare, and professional services. And the next reinvention is already underway with artificial intelligence poised to drive productivity gains. America's edge has always been its entrepreneurial spirit. That spirit shows up on the world stage. In the early 1800s, the US was a small share of the world economy, while China and India produced nearly half of global output. Today, the US accounts for 26% of global GDP. For a country with roughly 4% of the world's population, it's a remarkable level of economic weight. And when it comes to markets, America is not just the largest player, it's the center of the system. In 1900, US stocks were about a fifth of global market value. Today, they're 52%. Consider that against the economy. Again, the US produces 26% of global output, but its companies account for more than half of global equity value. That gap reflects how much profit American companies generate and how many global markets they lead, from technology to healthcare, energy, and finance. It's also a reflection of our deep capital pools, the rule of law, and companies built to scale worldwide. Warren Buffett has said it for decades, never bet against America. The long-term numbers show why. Since the 1870s, US stocks have returned 9.3% annually with dividends reinvested and 7.1% after inflation. There were brutal bear markets along the way, but in every generation, patience was rewarded. At 250 years old, America remains the most dynamic economy in the world, home to the deepest capital markets and the companies leading the next wave of innovation. We expect that leadership to continue. Betting on America has paid off for 250 years, and we expect it'll continue in the future. We hope you have a great 4th of July weekend.